position was winning, but he was better. He could have tried for more, and then well, a simple oversight of a tactical trick, well, basically in one move. Right, so the game has started. They repeat the same line as in the previous one, with bishop b5 check, with d4, queen captures d4, well, exactly as in the game 25 plus 10, both playing very, very quickly. Rook to c8, castle short. Well, it's getting curious who's going to deviate first.
Okay,
Knight
so
to d2.
But I think
That
Jan
was played?
started with h3 immediately.
No, he went knight d2, queen c7, and then he went h3.
So it's just the same position, and again
h3, right? So, well, kind of confirming that it was a part of a preparation, I believe. a4, everything that happened. a4, bishop to e7 is already played. Rook to d1, same as in the previous game. Castles, knight f1. Strange moment to pause for Nepomniachtchi because there's simply no other move, it seems. Knight f1, d5.
Wow.
d5.
So it's a probably...
So Wojtaszek deviates at the very early stage. He takes a knight e8. So simply decided to sack a pawn and to play it well. And he plays it pretty quickly. Both of them played pretty quickly. d5, so bishop d6. I believe this is the preparation of Jan Nepomniachtchi. So bishop takes, knight to d5. Then the pawn was not taken. That's the sign that both of them know what they're doing, because it's not obvious what happens after queen takes c2, right? At least not to me.
Maybe
what happens after queen takes c2?
Some straight tactics. Maybe just simply knight
b6. He can take and go rook c7. So what I thought that possibly knight e7 check here, when black takes, you trade the queens and then you take on d7. But that's like material equal.
But
I'm not
bishop
sure
c5 also.
Oh, and bishop c5, rook c7. No.
Something else. It has to be something else. Okay, well, if I play...
It's really mysterious. What's that? Well, you take and go knight c3 maybe, trying to trap the rook. Queen takes, rook takes, and knight
one of
c3.
the possibilities, I think.
Yeah, because it is, the feeling is like it was all prepared. Yeah, knight c3, then next move knight e3, and black doesn't have bishop c5 because the other fella is hanging on d7. Right, so queen c6 was blitzed out. Jan went with knight f1 to e3. Queen c6 after knight d5. So not queen c2. Yeah. Knight f1 to e3 is played. So black has got pair of bishops, but
it looks like it was a work of the seconds during the breaks, because like after the first game, the seconds of, for example, Jan Nepomniachtchi and the second of Radoslaw Wojtaszek just decided to check the line that
and somehow informed the players that all right, but now it seems that Jan still knows what he's doing, while Wojtaszek, what can you explain during the break? You can say, okay, in this position you have d5, it works for you, but you're not in time to tell your player all the lines.
Obviously, but maybe...
So I can see what White is planning to do. He's planning to, to keep this knight on d5 for as long as possible, of course.
Like bishop c5?
Bishop c5. Provoking move, because b4 is one move I'm looking at. b4, you will have to go back to d6, then white goes c4, white has one couple of tempi. Right? I mean, I don't really see any other move, because knight e7 is a terrible trap. You will have to go... Yeah, b4 was played.
Maybe it was just a blunder.
Bishop c5 might have been just not the best move in this position.
I was considering bishop e6 there.
Yeah, it's like you want to move those guys. Yeah, and I thought that white actually doesn't want to play... Yeah, obviously doesn't want to play b4. He wants to play b3.
Yeah.
That was That was what I was thinking.
Yeah, that's right.
b3, putting the bishop on b2, potentially going c4 to support the knight on d5.
Okay, but black needs some simplifications. I mean, even taking on d5 should be under
bishop
consideration.
Takes, knight takes. But still, it's not that easy to crawl out of this corner, right? It's just like knight on e8 is stuck.
Still, like queen c2 is not possible there.
Maybe it is. Now maybe it is. I don't see.
Yeah, because I thought you were planning to take with the queen.
Yeah, I can take with the queen
and remain, but maybe in this case b3 is maybe.
Yeah, maybe b3 is not
so accurate.
Not the most accurate. Maybe I can go c. Yeah, well, c4. You do the same thing essentially. You take on d5, where I'll probably have to take with the pawn.
There might be something cute, I think. Okay, well, I was thinking about bishop d2, but again,
Then again, black takes
on
d5. Alright, but after bishop c5, b4, it does look very attractive for white, because essentially he just won a couple of tempi in this position.
Yeah.
I don't really see any other move but to go back to d6.
Well, me too.
Right? And then white goes c4.
Yeah, of course,
c4.
c4. They need to play b5.
Supports the knight on d5, wants to play bishop b2. b5 is an
also,
idea.
c5 is a very unpleasant threat.
c5 is a very unpleasant threat. Yeah, well, actually, does black have the move after
like
bishop
king
d6,
h8 probably, but okay. Well,
king
still
h8
c5
already allows c5.
Still c5 and just
followed by knight e7. That's absolutely winning position, because he takes the bishop on d7, not even an exchange.
Yeah, well, so bishop c5
was a terrible blunder.
Might be very costly.
Was a terrible blunder, and now obviously Radoslav is looking for a way back in this game, but pardon me, I don't see it. It might be too late, right? Bishop d6 played, and indeed c4.
Well, maybe there is something.
How do you stop c5?
Yeah, we're thinking about b6.
Yeah, it's like b6, but once again, you are making. I mean, even if it works tactically, even if white doesn't win after say b5, white just plays bishop b2. He's much better. Black still didn't succeed in untying his
the funny
pieces.
thing that like after b6, b5, you have to play queen b7 immediately. I mean, because taking there
a takes, yes,
allows me an additional option to play rook a6, and after
rook
bishop
a6,
c5, something like bishop
a3.
So I'm trading the bishop.
Terrible,
b6 pawn is just false. Very.
Yeah. After bishop's exchange, knight e7 as well is a threat. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's really looks really
probably
bad.
b5,
yeah,
queen
b5,
b7.
queen b7. Can I go bishop a?
Yeah.
Bishop a3 and nevertheless, because takes, knight e7 is a threat, and I'm not sure if you have the.
and you can't even play king h8 or king h7 because the rook is hanging. Yeah, that's the point.
That's so funny. Rook b8, for instance,
like
knight to e7, king h7, knight g6.
Taking a pawn.
Knight g6, attacking the rook, and then knight f8.
Yeah, okay, well,
so,
knight
c6 wins an exchange,
well.
But knight g6 is the funny line.
Stylish.
Knight g6, yeah, you go to g8, that's the only way to save this rook from f8, and then knight f8 happens nevertheless. So white wins material and the game, because it's no compensation whatsoever. So no b6 and no nothing, it seems, after c4. I don't even see a move.
How Radoslav can get back into the game?
Maybe he can't. Yes, c5 is such a devastating threat. So bishop c5 was a terrible mistake on move 18. And
yeah, just allows 2 extra tempos, which I think even black would made some normal moves. I think like b4 and c4 can be considerable.
Could have been like white's idea nevertheless, just to put the bishop on b2. Right now, of course, with 2 extra tempi, b5, bishop a3 seems to be a very strong idea. Yeah, could he do something? Well, not sure. Yeah, b6 seems to be like the only move, because otherwise c5 is very strong, right? So one more time, b5, if queen goes to b7, we said bishop a3. Could it be some move here? Not really, because knight e7 is a threat, or just a simple capture on d6 and then knight moves from d5. So both
I think it's a bit sadly, but probably rook c5 is one of the best moves in this position.
Yeah, rook c5.
Yeah, but well, just
kinda keeps you alive, right?
Okay, not really. Just take, and even some
97. Yeah, 97 bishop.
By the way, I'm not sure that even I need 97 there.
I'm not sure if you need to take on c5, to be honest. I mean, it's not running anywhere, this rook.
Okay, unlikely Radoslav he would rather resign than play rook c5 in this position. Yes, but otherwise, after bishop e3, and I mean, it's such, I can't say natural to trade this black squared bishops. Even there have been no threats at all after bishop e3, queen e3. Just imagine. Still, bishop e3 is move
yeah,
with
move
a plan.
To consider, definitely, because you're getting access to some dark squares, right? I mean, as long as black is not putting the knight on c5.
Yeah, obviously.
Yeah, and the knight on e8 is, yes, a very, very strange sequence of events. First of all, why to play d5 if previous game was fine for you, right? Then if you do play d5, then perhaps you have to know it, and then if it's clear that you do not know it, spend a bit more time and not fall for bishop c5. Because he has spent 2 minutes on bishop c5, and then now he can spend like nearly all of his time, because I don't really believe this position is possible to save.
Right.
So what can I say? Dramatic tiebreaks. Radoslav kept missing his chances in games 1 and 3 with the white pieces, or 3 and 5 accordingly if you count the classical part. b6,
b5,
b5 played quickly. Yeah, I mean, in these positions, you know, Jan is especially strong in this kind of positions.
I think as well as we.
Yeah, that's a fair chance that our chess level would be enough to convert this one, even against one of the Grand Prix players. b5, yeah, really, it's hard to say what would be the best chance. There is simply no chance whatsoever.
Yeah, okay, well, queen b7 is just...
Yeah, I'm trying to
and only reply.
Trying to find the... trying to find some position where... What?
a5? I mean...
a5, you know, it makes sense because black can't take, you go c5. But what about b5, bishop a3? That's a really, really serious
maybe
question I'm asking there.
a5 is just another... I mean,
maybe it is another winning line.
As good as well.
Okay, black goes e4, starts to give up material.
Okay, what if I simply take?
Yeah, don't see the reason. Don't see the reason not to take on e4. What happens then? Yeah, I mean,
yeah, but maybe just a5 is another good move.
Maybe a5 is just another way to win this one. So e4, Jan is thinking, what happens if white takes? Could it be like f5, f4? I mean, some desperate try to, you know, to I don't know, to do what? Just to attack the piece, to hope it will all of a sudden work somehow. And we do understand that this position is terrible for black, right?
Yeah, obviously. Yeah, but you know, if f5 is... I can't say it's a real chance, but still...
It's like black is still fighting,
yeah.
we can say.
I mean, it's still threatening something.
So, for instance, knight e7, bishop takes, queen takes, black plays rook f7, says it's only a pawn, right?
Yeah.
Only a pawn down.
And then I play f4 and also
maybe,
c4 is hanging.
Maybe something can
So
happen.
I think e4 is just...
but he has to take, right?
No, but maybe there is something like queen d4 instead of queen e4. With some... I mean, keeping the pressure.
It's a little bit longer thread. So what do you want?
I want to take on b6 simply.
Possibly with the knight, right?
Yeah.
If black doesn't react. So if black captures...
Or even with a pawn.
Yeah, if black captures on a5, it's always c5 and the game is over. Yeah. Once again, the bishop cannot leave because of knight e7. It's a double attack, or
Yes, maybe
in this
queen
case,
d4 is
triple
might be enough.
Queen d4. Yep. Just not to allow f5 with the tempo. So now, if f5 happens nevertheless, what white is supposed to do?
Okay, so I take with the knight, I suppose.
Ah, you take with the knight, and then c5 is still a threat. Bishop e6. Okay, so not f5, but bishop e6.
Yeah, but there are no threats. I can take even with the pawn. Yes, but the
Yeah, I mean, when you take with the pawn, you are no longer winning a piece. At least knight b6, black does something and says, "Okay, let's play."
okay, but the only sense
I'm
of bishop
pawned
a6 is if white takes with the knight, there is rook d8, and black suddenly is still alive. I mean, of course, it's just the worst position, but like,
Back to d5, perhaps, right?
yeah, or maybe knight e or
Knight e d5 could be a move.
I wouldn't
Yeah,
consider knight b6 as the top choice. I would take, I think, yeah, but still, why not
Yeah,
with the
yeah,
pawn?
what happens if pawn takes? And that's precisely the question Jan is asking. A takes b6 played.
So c5 is
I
coming
thought bishop takes
all the way.
bishop takes d5 is what you have to do. Not that I'm doing this happily, but at least if the knight takes, yeah, bishop
Yeah, but I
d5
think
is
even
played.
even queen d5 is no okay. Well, queen d5. I have to take with the rook. I mean,
And then bishop
I think
b4.
queen d5 is somewhat very technical.
Yeah, so anything should win in such position, right? Maybe bishop b4.
Oh, but bishop b4, I think I have b7.
You have b7. Yeah,
yes,
that's
and after
right.
queen d5,
That's
I just
right.
take there.
C takes b, yeah, b takes c8 queen. Okay, queen d5, so black will have to exchange the queens. After which, it's once again, anything is winning. If you like, you can take with the knight.
Yeah.
Right. Queen takes, and then take.
I
with
think
the knight, and then
even pawn takes d5 wins the
yeah,
game.
it will be like a pawn up at least.
Yeah.
So
then knight f5 is coming. Just
and those are dangerous positions where everything is
winning.
because or rather dangerous way of thinking when you start to think, well, my position is so good. Is there any way I'm not winning? Because usually you tend,
usually you
find this way, and for some mysterious reason you choose to play it. Yeah. So the better way of thinking, I would say, is to find the most precise. The most precise is my advantage is biggest.
Yeah, queen takes.
And perhaps safest. That's the other keyword.
That's what
the other keyword.
Jan actually did. Queen d5, the
other
safest.
keyword, the
Yeah,
safest.
so queen takes.
Queen takes, then
And then again.
the question
Oh,
is,
three.
what kind
Okay,
of passed pawns do you want? Do you want two connected passed pawns? Do you want to take with the knight so that rook c4, bishop e3? I believe b pawn simply
I think he'll take with rook, because
Rook takes,
at
yeah.
least after bishop before we have rook a6.
Rook a6,
just
and rook comes back.
Controlling.
Yeah, rook to b5.
b5, b7, everything. Just simply winning position.
Yeah, that's absolutely winning. And as well, I just realized that I have bishop a3 later on to exchange the bishop, so that c pawn is.
Yeah,
that's
everything is winning there.
Absolutely no chance
So
whatsoever.
it looks like this game will.
And this is a remarkable
very, very
moment. So he paused right there after queen takes d5. Here.
Mhm.
So that's an indication of how serious, how determined Jan Nepomniachtchi is in this game. When he feels that this final of Moscow Grand Prix is like,
Very,
is
very
that
close.
Yeah. So rook takes, bishop takes b4, and then you shouldn't be looking for anything better than rook a6, because it is winning practically on a spot.
By the way, can I play knight d6?
Knight d6.
Okay, I'm trying to.
Possible.
Even if I can, the evaluation of position doesn't change.
So you're trying to provoke me into rook takes d6 and b7,
Yes.
and then to try to say that
And you
Yeah,
know,
well,
and
black
it's, and
might
it's
have
still
chances.
losing,
Yeah,
obviously.
black might have chances. Rook b8, rook takes d6.
Yeah, so that's a kind of a trap.
Rook takes d6, rook takes b7, and yes, white objectively is winning in this position, but still the game continues.
Okay, let's find the
Let's find a way
cleanest
where,
path.
yeah, where there won't be a game.
By the way, you can start with b7.
b7, knight takes, rook b4 wins a piece.
Yeah, rook b6 or rook b5.
Yeah, rook b5,
Yeah,
knight
not
c5.
rook b5, knight c5, rook
and if
b6.
rook b6, yeah, it's a piece up.
Yeah, but not b7.
b7, rook b8, yeah, and you can still try to say, no, you're not winning immediately.
Okay, well, how
Yeah,
to win it immediately?
You know, it's sort of tricky.
Till the very
Obviously,
end.
rook takes d6 is winning. Once again, if I do go b7, rook b8,
Like,
right?
do we have something additional?
So knight b7, we agreed that rook
Yeah.
b6 is winning, attacking both the knight and the bishop. Rook b8 might be still rook b6.
Yes, I was also
Aha.
thinking about it.
Rook b6, and then if the rook takes
Okay,
on
well,
b7,
rook dd6 or
many
take and
things.
rook
Yeah, you
b5.
can take and rook b5, but this one is like even funnier, taking on b6 and then the rook is going. Knight d6 is played, by the way. Anyhow, seems to be like the trickiest move. Knight d6. So it's up to Jan to b7's on the board. Knight takes b7, rook b6.
Yeah, but he decided to take with the knight while rook b8 was... Okay, I can't say
That's the same as
more
the same, yeah.
more tense, but...
b7, knight takes, rook b6.
Okay, well, he can continue with bishop c5 and
Bishop
take in this...
c5 and take on e3.
the
yeah,
c
but
pawn,
this is not the position you save. This is
just
not
lost.
not the position you save. It's absolutely winning for white. Well, a dramatic tiebreak, and Radoslav Wojtaszek resigns immediately. So after he's losing a piece on move 28.
8.
So, not an easy, but a victory for Jan Nepomniachtchi, and I know who's going to be
The
the
finalist.
winner of the Moscow
You mean
Grand Prix.
the
It
Russian
will be the player from Russia.
chess player.
Yeah, so Russian final, Alexander Grishuk, who has won his semi-final yesterday, overtaking Hikaru Nakamura, and this gentleman who played the last game with the white pieces, Jan Nepomniachtchi, who has won a tiebreak against Radoslav Wojtaszek. Wojtaszek, by the way, gets some elo points in this tournament, winning
and
two
some Grand Prix points.
some Grand Prix points
Which
as
is
well for the semi-final.
More important, I think.
For the semi-final, but as well, yeah, his result is one of the best in the tournaments.
Yeah,
Right?
so he didn't lose even a single classical
Yeah, he
game.
didn't lose it. In terms of classical games, his result is one of the best in the tournament.
Yeah.
So he's on +2, same as the finalist Grishuk.
Well, right.
It's a good performance from Radek, but yeah, it felt during this tiebreak match that
Yeah,
he
but
was
since it-
tired, he was somewhat